That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We're back for another fun English class with GBS Beginner English. My name is Jared, and I am your host for Speak Now 3, Lesson 11. We're going to have some fun. Can I please? We need some help. We're going to find out our troubles and solutions through this lesson. When you're in trouble, first thing you need to do is no. That's not the first thing you need to do. The first thing you need to do is no, we're not looking for jokes or anything like that. What the first thing we need to do is ask for help because without help you may not get out of your problem. So it's always good. Don't be afraid to ask for help. We're human. Each of us needs a little bit of help in our life. So we're gonna start off today with the weekly puzzle. And yes, the weekly puzzle is interesting. We're gonna have a little bit of fun with the book. Can I help, please? And then we'll get into the workbook and everybody's favorite thing as we wrap up. So we start off today with our weekly puzzle. Now, okay, enough shaving. Let's look at these pictures. What we have here is what's called an eyeball bender. That means that we are looking at something that we probably don't look at in a normal way. We're looking at something very close. You may not notice it, you may not see it, but you may say, oh, I know what that is. Oh, I know what those are. I've seen that before. It's the shaver of a uh, hair cutter. But we have different items here. We have six daily items. And now I know you have seen and touched all six of these items. The question is, what are they? Out. Now, with option E, that object, there are four variations. I need to know exactly which variation. There are four variations. Find the right one. All right, today in our vocabulary, we're talking about different jobs and making appointments. Now, when we make an appointment, we want to be able to set up a time to go do something. Yes, many places you can go in and you can get a walk-in appointment at many different places, but some places it's better to make an appointment. You can go to the veterinary with your furry or feathery pets in an emergency, of course, but it's good to make an appointment, especially if you're going to go for a regular visit. Your hairstylist or an academic advisor, make sure you set up a time so that you go there and you get the help that you need. When you make an appointment, don't be late. This goes doubly important when we make our final appointments for your one-on-one. Remember, don't be late for those final one-on-ones because if you're late, there's nothing I can do to help you. When you get to the point in your life that you're ready for a wedding planner, the wedding planner is there to help you through the different stages. There's a lot to plan for a wedding. Wedding planners can be expensive, but they do help you through the most important parts of your big day. So it's a good idea to go ahead and ask for some help because if you don't, yeah, your future wife may become your ex very quickly without some help. So get some help, get the professional help that you need. Now, we're listening to a conversation between the receptionist and Heather, and there are some things that we need to find out. Let's find out about their appointment. Here we go.
Good morning. Dr. Kim's office.
Hello. I'd like to make an appointment to see Dr. Kim.
What is your name, please?
Heather Jensen.
I can get you an appointment this Thursday. Can you come in at 11:15?
I'd prefer something in the afternoon.
Would you be able to come in on Friday at 3:30?
Let me see. Yes, that's fine.
Okay. So your appointment is with Dr. Kim at 3:30 on Friday the 20th. Please come about 15 minutes early.
Great. Thank you.
All right, so when you go to a doctor's appointment, it is always a good idea to show up a little bit early. although I have never been to a doctor's office where I've gotten in on time. But if you need to get a doctor's appointment, you might look at the earliest reception time possible. If the doctor's office opens at 9 a.m., you want to try being there at 9 a.m. Just so that you can be the first patient in. Now, listen to that one more time. And this time, as you listen to it, try to fill in the missing three sentences that they add. Here we go.
Page 26. Conversation. C. Listen. Write the 3 extra sentences you hear in the conversation. Practice the new conversation.
Good morning, Dr. Kim's office. How can I help you?
Hello. I'd like to make an appointment to see Dr. Kim.
What is your name, please?
Heather Jensen.
I can get you an appointment this Thursday. Can you come in at 11:15?
I'd prefer something in the afternoon. I work in the morning.
Would you be able to come in on Friday at 3:30? Are you free then?
Let me see. Yes, that's fine.
Okay, so your appointment is with Dr. Kim at 3:30 on Friday the 20th. Please come about 15 minutes early.
Great, thank you.
All right. So again, she wants to show up for a doctor's appointment. It's always a good idea. Make an appointment if you can. If you can get an appointment, great. If you can't get an appointment, a walk-in, if you're really sick, a walk-in is okay. It's not advisable, but it's okay. Here in South Korea, sometimes you end up doing the walk-in into an emergency room, but
Denied.
I don't recommend doing that anywhere else. Going into an emergency room can be an expensive way. If you can, wait for the doctor's office to actually open up. Now, we have different ways of making appointments. I'd like to make an appointment, please. Can I please make an appointment? Is it possible to make an appointment to see the doctor? Requesting your information is always best. When you are giving or setting up an appointment, it's good to have a selection of days and times that are available. The reason is people are busy. Schedules get made way in advance. I know that when I go do my doctor's visits, I schedule my doctor's appointment at least 3 months in advance. And yes, I get my doctor's appointments. I have to go visit 3 doctors. They're usually at 9 a.m., 9:10, and 9:15. Boom, boom, boom. To see the 3 doctors. Now, I rarely get in on time, but those are the times that I'm scheduled to go and see the doctors. But when you set up way in advance, you can set up the times. When you're calling in late, you have to be a little bit more flexible. Now, when you respond, find the best times. Oh, certainly I can make an appointment at this time. Oh, what time are you free? Let me see what is available. One of the places that makes a lot of things with appointments is the dentist's office. Dentist really needs to make an appointment because when they're doing work on your teeth, you want to make sure you have enough time to do the work. So we've got your appointments. Confirm what it is. Double check to make sure that they've made the date on the right day, the right time, because there is nothing worse than you schedule an appointment for Friday and it ends up being next Friday and not this Friday when you're working. So find out and double check to make sure you have the right day, the right time for your appointment. Now, as you listen, we've got words that we blend together. Now, as I've mentioned in previous lessons, you don't have to blend the words together. That's not what this exercise is about. If I was working on getting you to sound like a native, yes, these would be the things that we would work on, turning in let me into lemmy and give me into gimme. But I don't want you to focus on that. Work on making sure that your pronunciation is correct. If you listen to the way that I speak, I try my best to keep those blends out of my language. Sometimes they slip in, but I try my best to keep most of those blends out of my vocabulary. The reason is, one, I'm a teacher and it makes me sound a little bit more correct if I use the right words. But if you listen to me when I'm speaking to one of the other native speakers, you'll probably hear me start speaking faster and the words will blend naturally. And this is something that when you watch movies, you're going to hear it. You don't have to imitate it, but you do need to be at least aware that these things happen. So listen at first to these two sentences and how they blend let me and give me.
Page 27. Pronunciation. A. Listen and practice. Notice how let me and give me are sometimes reduced. 1,
Let me just confirm that.
2,
Could you give me your phone number?
Okay, so now when she said, let me just confirm that, she's saying the words, let me just confirm, but it comes out, let me just say that because it's coming out quickly. And one of the things that happens in English is when we have hard sounds, inevitably we reduce them. And this has a lot to do with children. I don't know if you've been aware of this, but the people who change language are not adults, actually children that change our language. And when children make the words and things easier, that's just the way it works. For example, you all know that my nickname is Jerry. And Jerry is just the way that I go by my students here in Korea because Jared can become a little difficult. When I first came to Korea, Jared was fine with all of my academy students. But as soon as I started teaching the elementary school students and not the students that were working with English every day, Jared became very difficult. So I started just shortening it to Jerry. But that's not the first time I've had a nickname of mine because it's been shortened. My name was picked by my mom and dad when I was little to not have a nickname. They said, we want Jared so that there are no nicknames. Well, my mom and dad went with that for a total of 13 months, probably closer to about 36 months. When my brother was about 2 years old, he could never say Jared. So he would just go, yeah. And Jer became my nickname. So when my family members want to get together with them, my family members all call me Jer. From my aunts to my uncles, my brother sometimes does. And it's a nickname that has stuck because of my brother. This is where I can tell when I listen to people talk what their relationship is with me by which nickname they use. The teachers at the university all use Jared. That's all the staff members, all the teachers that are native speakers. They all use Jared. All my students use Jerry. My wife also uses Jerry because she likes it. And my family members either use Jared or Jer. So I can tell who it is when I'm instantly talking to them if I don't instantly remember who they are. All right, so practicing. When you practice, you don't have to worry about making it, can you give me your phone number? Can you give me your phone number? Work on making your pronunciation correct. Just be aware of the condensed forms. Now, we're going to make some appointments and we're going to see what we can do about making a schedule and making an appointment. So you're going to need your schedule in class and you're going to make an appointment to visit with a friend for, I don't know how much time, but we're going to have a reason. And make sure that you're accepting appointments and declining appointments for different reasons. Now, if you have to decline or cancel an appointment, my helpful advice, be truthful, be honest. If you call and cancel an appointment, just say, sorry, I have to cancel the appointment today because I have a prior engagement. If somebody pushes you on it, give them the honest truth. Don't try to invent or lie about it because if you lie, then eventually, guess what? You're going to get caught. And When that happens, yeah, it's not going to be nice. You're going to be the person who's wearing the clown nose, and that will not be fun. So just tell them the truth, because if you tell them the truth, then you always remember what's happened. Now, we're going to talk about the workbook, everybody's favorite. Okay, get it out of your system. Go ahead. We're going to talk about everybody's favorite part of the class. We're going to talk about the workbook. Now, the first part of the workbook, you have to look at the conversations. Read the conversation and what job are they talking about? So my dog isn't eating. Can I make an appointment? What time are you free? Now, who would we be talking to? Probably some kind of a doctor, because it's talking about eating. A dog doctor, a veterinarian. So we're going to be finding out when we can go visit that. So read these 8 conversations. Now there's 4 here, and there are a further 4 here. 8 possible conversations. Try to figure out who that person would be talking to. It is possible to be having a conversation with more than one person in that. So try to figure out everybody that could be having that conversation. Now, tips for making medical appointments. I'm going to read this little section of tips for you. Some of them are very important tips, and I'm going to give you a few extras as we go along. But after I've read this, mark whether these sentences are true or false. Tips for making medical appointments. Everyone hates to wait at the doctor's office. You can save time and aggravation by following these tips. 1, make an appointment for the first thing in the morning or right after lunch. Doctors can get further and further behind with each appointment. Avoid this problem by being the first appointment in the morning or first after lunch. 2, call for a same-day appointment. If you needed to see a doctor right away, you should call as soon as the office opens. Otherwise, appointments may all be filled. 3, complete paperwork ahead of time. You can often get forms online or have them emailed to you. Then fill them out at home rather than in the office. Keep a copy of your medical history at home so you can get specific details easily. 4, wear appropriate clothing. You'll feel better if you are comfortable and wear clothing and shoes that you can take off and put on easily and quickly. List your questions ahead of time. This is a chance to get a doctor's attention. Ask about any medical problems or concerns that you have. Now, I want to talk about number 4 real quick before I talk about another number. 4, wear appropriate clothing. Now, ladies, this one is especially for you. Because women wear different undergarments, specifically bras with wires, when you go to get a chest x-ray, you're going to be asked to remove that particular part of your clothing. Now, I'm not saying don't wear whatever. That's your choice how you want to do it. But in the event that you know that you're going to go get an x-ray and that your chest is going to be x-rayed, wear something that's loose fitting and that you're comfortable in. If you have the sports bra version or something that does not have wires, that is your best bet for being able to take an x-ray comfortably. They're probably still going to ask you to remove your clothes. They usually ask you to take off anything that could interfere with the x-ray, but it'll be something that you can take on or off. And if you have to, in an emergency, you could take it with the clothing still on. So be aware of that. Gentlemen, the same thing goes. When you're going to go to get a physical, make sure that the clothes that you're going to be in are comfortable, easily taken off and easily put on. I'm not saying wear sweat clothes or exercise clothes, but wear things that are loose and comfortable so that you can, while you're waiting, you won't be too uncomfortable. Making a same-day appointment. This is better than just walking into the doctor's office. If you're really, really sick, a walk-in is going to happen. But if you can avoid it and you can make an appointment, do that. I've had to do that many times, but it does help. As far as having your medical records, you should have at least a good idea of your medical records on hand. You should be able to keep your own medical records, especially if you're planning to travel overseas. Now, you may say, well, why do I have to carry all of my medical records? Well, sometimes it's important to know what has been done for you, what surgeries you've had done, what allergies you have. Now, if you have specific allergies, like I have a particular allergy to penicillin, it's an allergy that has developed over the years. When I was a kid, I had strep throat almost every year, and the penicillin was the obvious prescription, but my body has built up a tolerance and now an allergy to it. And this is something that does happen. So I have to make the doctors aware of my allergies. So know what you have to do, what you need to present to the doctors. Helpful thing, put it on your telephone so that people will know what is going on. Now, last part, the most important part of your homework. Do not forget this section, as it is the part that everybody's losing points on. First one, do you agree with the 5 tips that are above? Why or why not? Don't just answer, yes, I agree. Why do you agree with these tips? Which ones do you think are better? Or which ones do you think are not good? Why or why not? 2, do you have any other suggestions? Do you have any other things that you would recommend? Please include them. I'd like to find out what recommendations you have. Then come to part 2, write tips for saving time or improving your experience on other kinds of appointments or arrangements. What can you do for hairstylists, visa applications, dinner reservations? What can you do to make your reservations better and easier? Then it says to share your tips with group or classmates. Now, when we share these, share them with your mom, your dad, your dog, your best friend, share them with Dr. Nobody. I don't care, but put down what you can think of as some other suggestions you might make. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, today we did our weekly puzzle where we looked at eyeball benders, those puzzles that we're going to look at something really close. And we also looked at our student book, Can I Please? We talked about the workbook, and we're now wrapping everything up. So, ladies and gentlemen, you're doing a great job. I look forward to seeing you in class. Until that time, have a great and wonderful day. Bye-bye.